What's up everyone, no respawns here, hope you're doing well. So we're back in the castle, and this is my trading rest stop place thing. Obviously the video will have a significantly more SEO friendly title, but anyway. So I wasn't sure if I was actually going to show you this, because I wanted to make this really quite simple. Because it can't be, because of those of you who know the kind of the theme we're going for the castle right now, is it's very much this kind of Megaton inspired tiered set. Actually, before I got my ramble, the reason why I'm quickly doing those stairs there, as I mentioned before in the last video, was that any other staircase, like the concrete ones that I had, or ramps, the Minutemen and none of the people were using, so I've switched over to those ones. They look simple and nice. Anyway, so what I've gone and done, because obviously my castle is the tiered, this area here can't be very tall, so I kind of decided to make it more of a decorative build, to the point of kind of making use of the space rather than necessarily building, just kind of making it look nice. I'm obviously just adding a few of the railings on here because I hadn't finished them, and I haven't obviously done the buildings around it as well, but you can see, oh, it looks so good. Now, I'm quite pleased with how this turned out. Said I wasn't initially going to show you guys, I was just going to kind of have it in the next video kind of thing, just, oh, by the way, I did the center, but I did quite a bit, and I, for one, I struggled on this, like, kind of planning what to do. And I realised that though it's maybe not necessarily a build video, kind of how you decorate and kind of how you make an area like this look, I think, pretty decent, or at least kind of give you guys an idea. So I thought, fuck it, you know, it's still the same kind of stuff, so I'd put it in. I did speed it up, though, because there was quite a chaff. I also used the trading post thing. So before I get to it, right, I used the trading post tent thing. So you go to Bunker Hill, you do some quests there, and eventually you get the trader post, which attracts all of the wandering traders, so like Cricket, Carla and people then come to the settlements and you visit them. Now, I mentioned this in my mod video a while back, that one of the mods I have, so definitely look for this, is that, now, normally I don't have trading posts inside my settlements anymore. Now, the reason being is because Brahmin are a pain in the dick. However, I have a mod that I think it's called, so I can't be asked to find the link. But if you just put provisioners in the search term, I believe it's available on all platforms, and it will replace the provisioners with guard dogs. I can't remember who it's by as well. That's awkward. But anyway, it's a very, very good mod. I've reviewed it before, so it's fine. I'm allowed to forget. They've already had their video. But it's one of my favourite mods, and it's pretty much the only reason I would be willing to put a trading post inside this settlement, because rather than having, you know, a big, fat, irritatingly noisy Brahmin, I've instead got an incredibly lovely doggo who just wanders around and doesn't get in the way, which is great. This looks really cool. I'm impressed with this area. Just wiring this. I decided to keep the radio tower quite basic as well, because I was tempted to, you know, go at it and build quite a lot of stuff, and then I realized no, because then it'll end up being bigger and more ostentatious than the surrounding shops, which is kind of definitely what I was avoiding. So I ended up going for this kind of security gate vibe thing, and then kind of adding the details on the outside. It works pretty well. As I said, I'm quite pleased with this. It's coming together. For the later videos of the castle, just an FYI, what I might try and do is get a little bit more done now. Especially in the kind of the mid-tier, like the top tier on top of the castle, I can then go back to maybe kind of making individual videos, because basically the reason being is the middle tier of the castle, you know, the stuff that's going to be around this part, you won't be able to replicate anywhere else, because it'll be quite situational in terms of where it fits. So, you know, like all these shops you could build anywhere else, and this little rest stop you could build somewhere else. However, the kind of next level of the castle, it's going to be such a tight fit, and they'll be so kind of, so we say, organic in relation to the rest of the castle that I won't be able to. So I might do them a little bit quicker, you know, maybe do one whole video, or at least two, maybe, of where we just kind of quickly go, right, let's just do the second tier and get out of the way. It'll be the less exciting one. Well, it'll be cool, it just, yeah, anyway. So you can see, I'm just making this pretty simple. What I do for the record is I actually just record everything I do now. So sometimes, if it doesn't look like I'm not being flashy, it's because I'm not being flashy. I'm just like, okay, I've got my hard drive. Let's just record everything. And I decided to show you this. I like these grating bits a lot. They're really, really, really useful, but they don't snap, obviously, because this is PS4, so they're kind of not, whatever the word is, it's not capable of doing that. I can't have external scripts, but it's not like programmed or whatever. It's not able to do it. But what you can do is, because they don't snap, as I've mentioned this before, any item that doesn't snap and that isn't a foundation, although actually, no, they can work as well. But basically, any items that don't snap, you can put on the rugs like this and actually avoid all collision. Also, the reason why that asshole there is wandering around is because I took off the generator. I could have actually put it back on already. I just completely forgot. So he's just going to be a complete asshole and wander around. Just like an absolute fucking prick. But it doesn't matter because, like, when I do the tour, he's sitting down. I actually had a big thing where I couldn't get him to sit down, and I was really confused. And I realised it's because I attached my generator to the actual tower, but I hadn't actually wired it up. So that's my story about how I couldn't get my tower to work. There we go. And because those rugs back there, if I try and take them off, because they're sticking out, right? If I try and take them off, then that entire wall will drop down a bit, because that's just how this stupid rug glitch works. Well, you can actually fix it if you disappear for a few minutes, but couldn't be arsed. Instead, I just slammed this thing on as a kind of a staircase stepping thing. So you can see, it's pretty straightforward. You'll like the decorator. When we get to the decoration, it's cool. It's quite straightforward. It's using techniques I've done before, but kind of unique to this area. In hindsight, I might make this area a little bit more colourful. I was, the shops look cool. I might mix up the colours of the textures a little bit, because I'm a little bit conscious of it looking a bit drab or samey. I think because of the fact back in the vanilla days, that was kind of something you'd kind of dealt with. The vanilla days, like a year ago. Ancient history. But like now, obviously, with mods, we don't really have to have everything the same colour all the time. You'll kind of see what I mean. It looks good, but I could probably do with maybe mixing up a few of the textures a little bit, because it is just a little bit much, but then we will see. We'll see. It occurs to me you could have also done something like reverse junk fences here. I do like doing that. So you get your junk fences, turn them backwards, and have it so it looks like they're supporting. But I kept this quite simple. I wanted it to just look like a... But I also didn't want to hide him away. That's why I chose the grated bits, because it looks nice. You can still see him hanging around. Right, so this I've done a bajillion times before, back in the day, which is really cool. You just get a board, you sink it slightly into the ground, that's where the stairs are coming off. And this is just a very cool way of adding textures to floors. This is a useful technique. I mentioned this freaking 6 months ago, and I haven't actually done it much since. But basically, it's a really useful way of just kind of breaking up an area to kind of give you an idea of like doing something with it, but not necessarily having to build something. I may go a little bit overboard, actually, as you'll see. Don't worry, I do tidy it up a little bit when in the decoration. It's a bit easier when you're doing things like walkways. So for those of you who remember, I did this first in my original green top nursery video. And it was a really useful way, because there were so many walkways and kind of areas inside the settlement that I thought, okay, what am I going to do? And I realised I can just kind of get boards. I didn't have the pillar black then as well, so I used to just... I snapped them in a weird way, and then got them to kind of snap into the ground. And then used the shack steps to kind of just add a little bit more texture, and also so people can get up. So you can see I went a bit overboard with it, because I hadn't done it in so long. I was like, oh yeah, I remember this. This is really good. And so I delete half of them. But it's okay, because I'm going to show you, yeah, all of my bollocks. It's fun. Oh, by the way, you notice that you've got those 2 pillars, like that roof thing. See that thing there with the sandbags? That's what I built and then changed my mind, so I didn't bother showing you me doing it. I literally just pillar glitch a roof into the top, and then put some pillars, and then put some sandbags on the bottom to make them look like they were digging into the ground. It was exciting. So as you can see, just snapping these in there like that. Looking very grand. This is not a buildy one, it's a decorative one. It looks really good. It's really good. I did want to have, there we go, I kind of controlled myself a bit now. I just wanted a walkway. I was half making this up as I go along, as you can probably gather already. Yeah, no, I wanted... one thing we still don't have, and I'm going to complain about this to the end of time, and it will be till the end of time, because this is on PS4, so I'll never actually get these things. But decent lighting. Now, we do actually have the watching me. I mean, I think we possibly could actually. Hint, hint. Any mod devs watching, maybe finally make some good lighting mods. Just a thought. Specifically, give me Volt 81 lighting, and I'd love you forever. Anyway, the reason being is I wanted this area with floodlights, like really big floodlights looking in on the inside. You see them in Diamond City. If you look up at the top, you can actually see the kind of, you know, the stadium floodlights pointing in. It's kind of how a lot of it is lit up. And I would really like that for this central area, but there's just no lights that really do it justice. This shack bridge is amazing for adding little texture onto the ground, see? So it enabled me to kind of do my I'm putting these shit everywhere thing, but without necessarily going too overboard. But I did anyway. But you'll see when I do the decoration. Well, I've done the decoration. It looks really good. But yeah, floodlights, mod devs. Come on, come on, come on, come on. I don't have the skill to do it. I do it myself. You know this. I'm creative and I make weird little creative things. I don't have the ability to make, you know, actual mods. As you can see, so I've broken up the texture now. I think actually quite good. The only thing is, you look right now, I like the texture breaking up, but I just think maybe the colors are a little bit. So anyway, this is the trade caravan post, a little kind of meme of my channel back in the day, which is why I mentioned earlier, whenever that would be in any video ever. So if someone just saw that, I would get the comment of, what's that red tent thingy? Constantly. It was a borderline meme on the channel. That and me not using double railings. This is old school, you know, pre 20k subs memeage right here. And so I stopped using it because I was sick of answering the question. So to answer the question, I answered it earlier. But basically, just remind everyone, if you want to unlock this little trading post, well, one, you can probably just get it in the unlock segment objects mod anyway. So there we go, you can already have that. But if you don't have mods, or whatever reason it isn't in there, you go to Bunker Hill and you do quests for them until you get it unlocked. They'll tell you when you've got it, because they'll say, you can now call our people to your towns. It's really good. And also make sure you get the mod which replaces your Brahmin with dogs, because Brahmins suck, and they're loud, and they get in the way, whereas with doggies, they just kind of, you know, wander through. I haven't actually had the traders turn up yet, so I don't know. Here it is anyway, there we go. Let's look at this. Yeah, it looks really good, right? It's kind of like, it suits the rest of the area, because it's still got that kind of scrappy vibe. It's detailed, so you're like, effort's being put into this, but it's not bigger than the rest, and it still kind of follows that tiered style. But as you look, I probably could put a little bit of texture, not texture, color, in the center a little bit to kind of make it a little bit less wood, because it is very, 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 very wood, this place. But I'm iffy about it. I might change it up. Anyway, I hope you guys liked that. I will be doing another video actually tomorrow. I've already got this one planned, so it will be up tomorrow. So you'll be good to go. Expect it. It'll be another Fallout vid, and will be a castle vid, because I kind of want to get along with this. Anyway, as always, follow me on Twitter at norespawns. And yes, I'll talk to you lovely people soon. You enjoy the rest of my tour. Take care.